Howdy, champs. My name is Mohit, and people, welcome to part two. And as promised, I'm gonna explain uh, the demonstration that I've shown you, the preview, the browser preview that I've shown you. But just to make life simpler, just to make things even simpler, even easy for you to understand, and add a little bit of a zing, a flavor, I've made some changes. I've changed the image from a strawberry cheesecake smoothie. I've changed it to a different image. In fact, as always, let me start off with the browser preview. See what happens. See, it says here, hover then clicks. Did you see that? Hover then click. See, the moment I actually hover, um, it zooms up to a bigger size, and you see there's a grab handle. There's a grab handle. Okay, I'm gonna click. If I click, it actually zooms up, but only on a section of the keyboard, the Logitech Wave keyboard. Okay, and you still see the grab handle. If I actually click and hold this time, oh, amazing! Presto, you see it zooms up even further. If I release, I'm in the active state. I release the left mouse button, becomes slightly smaller. Actually, zoom 1.5 to 1. And if I click out, click and release, uh, it's again a zoom in state. But if I go off, it's the full, the complete, uh, the way it was initially. So many zoom states, people, and I just played around with the plugin with the options. Okay, let me show that to you again. Original state, out here, it says click and zoom. There's a fade in over 800 ms to milliseconds. Okay, if I go over, there's a zoom. If I click, there's a zoom of a section of only a particular section of the keyboard. Okay, if I grab, that's being click and not release the mouse button, the active state zooms up even further. If I release, this is what you get. Okay, if I come off, this is what you get. Awesome, 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 amazing. Um, there's no better way to actually use Zoom, the Zoom plugin. Awesome. Jack Elmore, thank you so very much, the guy who actually created the plugin. Alrighty. Ooh, cool. Righty. So let's see how this was actually created. Guys, I'm gonna give all my focus to the explanation. If I write the code, it takes my mind off the way I actually explain it to you. So I'm only gonna highlight bit by bit of the code, and I'm gonna explain it to you. Okay, I'm gonna write the code all over again. It's a little lengthy, not too lengthy actually, but then again I do best when I don't write the code and just read out what's off the screen. Okay, so this is completely different from what Jack Moore presented on the website. I played around with several options, and this is what I got. Let's start only with the body of the document, the zoom.html file. Okay. In the opening and the closing body tags, line 48 to 55, I have a span tag which has a class of zoom as well as space separated classes are possible. You can use multiple classes on the same element. Here I'm actually using span, which in turn uses an img. Okay, now the requirement, the plugin is created in a way that you should surround, you should engulf, you should encapsulate the image within a span or a div. Right, so I'm using span. See what will happen if I use another image within a span. Span being inline, so the images will be side by side. That's why I'm using span out here. Just remember that. Now, what does the class zoom do, and what does the class grab do? So we'll just go up to the internal embedded CS and let's see that. Here's this class zoom. It displays inline block, okay, in the same line. Cool. And it's setting the position of the span as relative. Remember, inline and block is a combination of block and inline level elements. Creates a mixture of them. So it creates inline elements, but preserves the width and the height as well. Cool. So setting these span tags to basically relative, because we are soon gonna use something which is absolute. That's why we make it relative. Okay, what does grab do? Let's see that. grab, the class grab is in line number 3738. So if there's an image inside the grab class and you hover over the image, through the cursor property we are changing the cursor to, in the hover state, to grab.cur. Where's grab.cur? I'm going to show it to you. This is grab.cur. It's a cur file, a cursor file, and this is the grabbed file. Again, this is a cursor file. You know, when you hover over it, do you remember? You see this this hand kind of, you know, structure. The tiny hand that you see is because of the cur file, the cursor file. Otherwise, it would have been a mouse pointer. So when you hover, I want the grab cur to show, grab.cur. This is the way you should be using custom defined cursors, people. Just comma separate and say default. So it will change the default cursor from a mouse pointer to the image, the cur file. You can even use an any file, animated file, but it's best to use a, for example, we just need a cur file. Okay, in the active state, when you press the mouse button, keep it pressed in that state, not release it. The left one, that is the left mouse button. Display the grab.cur, so it shows that you are in the active state and no more in the hover state. Okay, that's in the active state. So that is what the classes grab do. So grab, hover, and grab active. So that's why we have the grab out here. Okay, attached to the span tag. Also notice, people, that through the three script tags in line 42, 43, 44, we are tying up to the latest jQuery version. Always important. The Zoom plugin always has to follow the main jQuery library, which is in line number 43. Right. And we have a custom defined, a custom written, self-written magnify.js, which is out here. This is something I played around with. You know, I'm going to explain it to you in a while. First, let's get over with HTML and CSS. Cool. So these are the three script files, and they should be in the local site folder. You see jQuery, the main jQuery library, which is always followed by, not preceded by, followed by the plugin. This is the plugin. Guys, just write a mail to me. Ask for all the assets that you see out here. I can mail it to you. No problems at all. Just write a mail to mohitsmail@yahoo.com, or else visit my website, which is http://qualitylessons.net. Go to the contact us section, contact us page, send me an email from there. I'll appreciate if you do that. Actually, I would want you to visit my website. There are so many projects out there. There are dozens of projects, wonderful projects. My hard work over the last 5 years that you can actually download completely free, use it, relish it, replicate it, enjoy it. Right. So I would actually urge you, I would request you to visit my website, http://qualitylessons.net. Go to the contact us page, ask for the assets, I'll email it to you, or else you can just go to the downloads and downloads one. There are two download pages. Grab some. I don't want to brag, but there are actually some, at least a handful of very good projects. Right. Also notice, people, that I'm actually using three images out here. This is the first one. Sorry, this is the first one. A smaller one. This is the smaller one. Yep, this is the smaller one. Yep, this is the smaller one. This is a bigger one. Okay, so when the page loads, we want to show up a smaller one. When you hover over, you zoom, you want to show a slightly bigger one. So this is called Logitech Wave Small. This is slightly bigger in size. This is 1500 739. The first one is 960 473. We want a smaller one to show. That allows for faster page loads. And then we zoom on only a specific section of the web page, the keyboard rather, 1280 1960, different dimension. Okay. So using Logitech Wave Small, and Logitech Wave Zoom.jpg files. So this is the magnify.js that we wrote separately. Okay, cool. Let's get back to the document. Righto. So you see, what else does the class Zoom does? Displays inline block, position relative. Why did we have to use position relative? Because of zoom : after pseudo element. You know what are pseudo elements? : before : after allow you to add some content. Again, this is a difficult subject for some of you guys, but colon before colon after allow you to add some pseudo elements um, before and after the content. In our case, zoom, the class zoom. What is that content? Display block, a width of 33, a height of 33, position absolute, top 0, right 0, or and the icon. Basically, the pseudo element we are actually adding is an icon.png file, which is where's it? Yep, icon.png file, and we are ensuring that this icon, if you see out here, is right there. This is the icon.png file, right there in the corner, the magnifying lens. You know, that's why we are using the zoom colon after. So the class, anything with the class zoom colon after should have this content. Which content? Icon PNG file. Where? Top right position. Top right corner. Yes, exactly. Position absolute. You have to set it to position absolute. Only then can you use the top, left, right, and bottom properties, guys. Else you cannot. Okay, cool. And we had to set this relative and this absolute. Only then it actually works. So, yep. So basically, to place the icon in the top left corner, top right corner rather, we had to use the zoom colon after glass. So magnifying glass icon being pushed in. Cool. What does zoom img do? Just turns the display of the image to a block level element. What is a block level element? Why do we use display block? Block level elements separate themselves from the rest of the content and do not allow another block level element to sit to its left or right, basically adjacent or beside. That is what it actually does. Okay, just in case somebody makes an image selection, you know, the background color should be transparent, or else it could turn something like grayish, blackish. We don't want that to happen, just in case somebody makes an image selection. Right, so we turn it transparent. This is, you could do away with it though, but it always helps. If somebody if you grab it and there's a selection that's actually made, no background colors at all. Okay. So yeah, we finished actually. I'm so surprised. I thought, oh yeah, we have body margin 50px. Basically, a cushion all around. You see, it's separated from the left and from the top by 50px. We need that. Okay. And then an asterisk rules for everything else. Border 0, margin 0, padding 0. Just a reset rule, people. Asterisk means for all elements. Border 0, margin 0, padding 0. Right. Don't want any borders, margins, padding for any element at all. Asterisk means wildcard. Everything. Target every damn bloody thing. Okay. As far as the H3 is concerned, I'll tell you where H3 is. H3 is being used out here. Hover, then click. Right over. See, this appears out here. Hover, then click right in the top right corner. So, we are styling it out here. Okay, it says position absolute. Because when you use the position absolute, only then can you use top and right. Okay, we are setting it in the top right corner. And we are setting a color. So, you see, it's in the top right corner and then has a color. Just disappears when I actually hover. That is the way the plugin was actually written. Yeah, that's a grab. Release the grab. Okay, cool. I'll tell you why we are getting all these different zoom levels very quickly. If I get back to the JS file, where is it? Yep. Oh, okay. Excuse me. So line number 1 says when the document is actually ready, when the elements are accessible and the DOM has actually initialized, is when I would want to target anything which has the class zoom. Use the zoom plugin over it. On mouse over, I would want the image to magnify magnify is 100 times over 800 ms milliseconds and display the URL Logitech wave.jpg. Now Logitech wave was not the initial image. The initial image was Logitech wave small. Right? So this is where you are actually moving on to a bigger image. Let me show you the local site folder once again. Logitech wave small was the original image that you see when the page loads, and this is the slightly bigger image. See the size 1500 739. This is 964 73. If I go to the code, okay, notice out here Logitech wave small is the first upfront. Width attribute says 964 73. This is slightly smaller. And on mouseover, magnify the stuff at 100%, but which URL, different image, Logitech Wave, which is slightly bigger. And we just saw it slightly bigger by, see, this was the original one, 964.73, but this is on a mouse over 1500 739 pixels, people. See, the file size is also different. 122 KB, this is 144 KB. Cool. Dimensions change, size changes. Alrighty, let's get back to the magnify.js. On a click, if somebody clicks, now, all conditions are coming true on a mouse over on a click. I've not used the toggle. I didn't find it particularly useful, guys, but I've used the click and grab, everything together. Grab, not grab, click and grab. Yeah. So target everything which is a class zoom. Use a zoom plugin written by Mr. Jackal Moore. Thank you, Jack. And on a click, magnify 100% over 800 ms. Change, you can manipulate this, you can manipulate magnify also. Change it to this bigger image. Let the touch be true, on a touch screen. That it worked too. Okay. And line number 4 says target the class zoom. So the image, the span tag has the class zoom, which has the image in turn. So obviously it's gonna affect the image, obviously. But this time, if somebody grabs and just simply does not click and release the button, if somebody grabs, click and hold, keep it pressed, not release the left mouse button. If somebody does that, change the magnification from 100% to 150%. Again, you can play around with the values. So the zoom value shoots up even further by 50%. The duration remains the same. I found this duration to be nice for the fade in, this duration is for the fade in, guys, the transition. But the image remains Logitech Wave Zoom. Yeah, we changed the image to Logitech Wave Zoom. If I were to just not use the zoom out here, and why wouldn't I? No, this is, everything's fine. Yeah, Logitech Wave Zoom is the third image. This image, Logitech Wave Zoom, just zooms up on a section of the keyboard. Yep. So just going from increasing the magnification value, the level to 50% more. Ye dil mange more. Right. Touch screen as always is enabled. So on mouse over, on click, on grab, all work together. These are on, magnify, URL, touch. These are all additional optional parameters. In fact, just using zoom by itself in opening, closing, round brackets is enough. But to enhance the experience, to to manipulate it the way you actually want, you need these additional optional arguments or parameters. So it's that simple, guys. Now this concludes the tutorial, and let me end it by showing you you see, even though I'm actually outside the area, I can still move it. That's so very cool. And to come off it, I can just click anywhere on the page. You can, and it goes back, resets itself. It says hover, then click. Let's hover. I've just hovered, done nothing. Now the click and release. Okay. Now just click and hold. Wow. And just click out. We are back. So, 3-4 magnification levels. Such a great zoom plugin, and yeah, I should be thanking Jackal Moore, and you could be thanking me by subscribing, by liking, and by sharing this video. Guys, you have a good day. Bye bye. Peace.